Bismillah. Okay. So al-muhi, zinde kunande, the one who gives life, and al-mumeet, miranande. بس صوفی را باید که از اوصاف بشریه بمیراند و به صفت حقیقت زنده گرداند تا به فنای صار العبدی فانیا و به بقای الحقی صار باقیا متصف شود. So basically al-hayy, well, not al-hayy. So the al-muhi and mumeet, muhi is the one who gives life, and of course the mumeet is the one who gives maut. But Sufi Rabayat, therefore the Sufi must ke az awsaf-e bashariye, from the human characteristics, bimirana. So basically the Sufi must die to the attributes of human nature. Wa bi sifat-e haqiqat zinde gardanat, so that he becomes alive through the characteristics of the real truth. Tabi fanai, so that bifanai, through the annihilation of Sara Abdu, he becomes the servant, basically, so that through annihilation the servant becomes faniyan. Servant becomes annihilated. So tabi fanai Sara Abdu faniyan. And this is not a phrase we could find, right, Ashraf? This is a...
It doesn't make sense even, because God cannot be annihilated. So
No. Sufi Rabayat, right? This is a description of the Sufi. So Sufi Rabayat ke az awsaf-e bashariye bemiranat, so that the Sufi must die to the...
you mean the fanai of the human qualities?
Yes, so the Sufi must kill off the traits of his humanity and then be made alive by the attribute of the truth.
So fanai here is used as a sort of masdar, a sort of like a verbal noun, like by killing, by annihilating these human qualities in him.
No, I was translating the previous line, so just to give context that this one, that Sufi Rabayat ke az awsaf-e bashariye bemiranat.
Oh, that's clear.
Haqiqat zinde gardanat. Yes. Okay. Ta bifanai.
This ya, to what refers this ya, bifanai?
I think this should be
That's
just
a
a
problem.
hamza. This should be just a hamza. This is a genitive case. Ta bifanai sar al abdu, through the annihilation, become the servant, right?
Okay. So the servant becomes annihilated.
And then the predicate of you have the complement of Sara is faniyan, perishing, like the perishing servant. It's a strange double, right? Through the annihilation, the servant becomes annihilated.
It's like that tautology. It doesn't make any sense for me.
But anyway, and then we have something similar. Wabi baqa al-haqqi Sara baqiyan. So, and through the eternal through the eternal being of like the real God, bi baqa, like the of haq, become enduring, right? Baqiyan, or become everlasting. So through the permanence of the real, he becomes everlasting. And then Muttasif Shavad, I mean, this is a very complicated sentence, that basically through the annihilation, the servant becomes annihilated. But I think there may be something missing here, because you have Bibaqa al-Haqqi. Bifanai, there's probably a adjective missing here. Tabifanai X, Sarul Abdi Faniyan, less like this, Bibaqa al-Haqqi, Saru Baqiyan, Muttasif Shavad. I think he's quoting something. So that basically you become attached or characterized by this statement. That statement, I don't know where. I haven't looked it up. I don't think.
I think we looked last time and we didn't find it like literally.
This might be something else.
But I
Okay.
think here, because this is very, very problematic. I think very, very
I think it's
problematic.
missing a word. It's missing
Yes.
it's a mistake. It's a typo. I mean, not a typo, like he's clearly not typing. Maybe I think like the next word, al-hayyul qayyum, might help us too,
Yes.
right? Because they're similar qualities. So in terms of, I mean, but the root is the same, right?
It is fana and fani. Yes, fani is the
No, of
Hayy,
the
he himself is alive.
alive, yes.
While muhyi comes from the
Is the
transitive verb to give the life, to give life or to cause life to exist.
Right. The one who
Ahya.
Yeah.
Hayy comes
the
from
one who is
haya.
alive and the one who gives life.
Al-hayy comes from the basic verb haya yahya, to be alive. And al-muhyi comes from the fourth form ahya, yuhyi, to give life or to cause life to be.
Right. Okay. So let's see what the definition is here. Al-hayy, zinde ki ura, na bi jaan hajat, wa na bi marg afat. Okay. So the definition is like al-hayy, the one, meaning the one who's alive, but to whom there is no need of life, like there's no need of soul through a soul. Jaan, I think here it's referring to like it does not need a life through a soul. And on whom there is the death has no effect. That cannot this cannot harm. It is not afflicted by that afat. Al-Qayyum barpa shude hamishe wa in har do ism as sifat zati ast. So Al-Qayyum, I mean the one who is typically translated as the one who is eternally self-sustaining. Barpa shude hamishe is basically the one who is forever established, ever upright. And both of these names are from attributes of the divine essence, sifate. ذاتی ہے الحی القیوم. پس صوفی را باید که افعال خود را اوصاف در صفات و ذلت حق خالی و محو سازد. So the Sufi must make af'al khud, make his own actions empty, like khali or mehav. And if mehav sadat, empty and effaced with what? Within the dar awsaf, dar sifat u zati haq. So in basically in within the attributes, the qualities, and the very essence of the real God, make his own acts empty and effaced in the face of it, perhaps. In every aspect, in every quality, in every attribute, in every essence, the self must vanish. But Sufi rabayat ki af'al khud dar awsaf, dar sifat wa zat haq. This can't be zillat.
It should be zillat, but it's strange.
I mean, it looks like zillat, but I think
yes, it is for me 100% zillat.
What would it mean then?
Zilla is the humiliation.
No, I know, but zillat haq, that makes no sense. Yes, that I think it's zat, because the awsaf sifat zat. So afale khudra, so in the actions, in their characteristics, in their qualities, in their attributes, and the essence of the actions themselves. No, this is something wrong here.
No, ومحو
Mehav Sazad.
Yes, I think it is like the real humiliation, He be free of real humiliation. خالي like free of.
No, yes, well, empty and free, but what's zillati haq then? So af'al khud is its own actions. Dar awsaf, dar sifat, okay, in the characteristics and attributes. I mean, it's a repetitive characterization.
Awsaf are descriptions and sifat are qualities, like in a sense.
Right. Attributes and descriptions. وَزِلَّةِ حق خالی و محو سازد تا عبدالعباد در بقای حق باقی و پاینده گردد. Yeah, I think this has to be there's something missing, something is off. Bina, what's your any
I also
suggestions on
think
this?
it should have been Zat. It doesn't have
Yeah.
meaning. I also searched for Awsaf wa Sifat wa Zillat and didn't find anything on the internet.
No, I mean, it has to be Zat, I think. But I think the construction even after that is slightly odd, right? कि अफ़ाल खुद दर औसाफ दर सिफात व ज़ात. Okay, I think that, okay, and this is what my proposition is. कि सूफी را باید कि अफ़ाल खुद दर औसाफ दर सिफात व ज़ात हक खाली व महव साज़द, that the Sufi must make his own actions empty and effaced within and through the attributes, the qualities, and the very essence of the real truth, that is God. So, ta Abdul Ibad dar baqai haq baqiyo painde gardad, so that to the end of eternity, she may remain enduring and everlasting in the subsistence of the real. That's my reading. I think that's how that gloss of the next sentence makes it slightly clear. सूफी रबायत की अफ़ाल खुद दर औसाफ दर सिफात व ज़ात हक खाली व महव साज़त त अब्दुल इबाद दर बक़ाए हक बाकी व पाइंदे गर्दत. यानी कि like basically you become alive and enduring and everlasting through the subsistence, through the baqa of the of haq, of the real truth, by making your own actions sort of emptying and effacing them, and perhaps filling them with the attributes and qualities and the very essence of God, making them empty in the face of the attributes, qualities, and very essence of God, so that of real truth, so that the Sufi can subsist and remain enduring and everlasting in the subsistence of the real. But and that's my reading. I think if it doesn't make sense, please feel free to interrupt.
No, it does make sense for me as well, and I think it's the same as Faqr و Fana, a step of Irfan way, a mystical way that they had to pass the last step, Faqr و Fana.
Okay. وبالشرف آن اولیاء الله لا يموتون مشرف گردد. And so that he وبشرف آن اولیاء الله لا تموتون مشرف گردد, so that, again, I think this is continuing, so that Sufi becomes ennobled, like by the honor of that saying about the awliya, of those awliya Allah, that
Excuse
awliya
me,
Allah
isn't it Inna awliya Allah? Isn't it Inna awliya Allah?
That can also be وبشرف إن أولياء الله لا يموتون, that indeed the friends of God do not die, right? Awliya Allah. And we saw, of course, here in the commentary last time on the word wali, that this is glossed, the wali and the friend is glossed as lover, all right. It's less of a friend, but more of a ashiq. So indeed, the lovers or friends of God or awliya Allah, of course, I mean, that's a phrase to refer to the saints, do not die. So that he becomes or she becomes ennobled by the honor or by the sharaf of this saying that the friends of God do not die. चुनांचे नकलस्त के आइंदे as-sultanul arfin پرسید که بایزید کجاست. بایزید گفت که 30 سال است که بایزید را میجویم و بایزید را نمییابم. Okay, let me translate this. Therefore, it is reported as it is related که آینده از سلطان العارفین پرسید که بایزید کجاست. That ayandei, like I think it's like somebody, like a visitor, somebody who came, or I mean, it couldn't be the ayande of like the future. So somebody who was visiting asked कि as-Sultan al-Arifin Pursid asked the sultans of the Arif कि Bayezid kujast, where is Bayezid? And I think this is a story it's very famous about Bayezid. कि Bayezid guft कि 30 साल است कि Bayezid ra mijuyam wa Bayezid ra namiyabam, that it has been that I've been seeking, like it's been 30 years that I've been looking for Bayezid, and I cannot find Bayezid. Yani anche Bayezid بود در حق فانی و محو شد. So in like that, whatever was Bayezid, whatever may be Bayezid has become annihilated and into the real truth. وَإِنْ هَسْتِي حَقَسْتِ, and this is the existence of God. Where did it go? Que actually, I think I transcribed it. Sorry. Just remembered I transcribed this at some point. Oh, sorry, I have to refresh this. Somebody's Zoom is unmuted. Okay. Here it is.
Yeah, here.
The Ayandei as Sultan al-Arifin proceed. Wait, what happened? I think something became. Oh no, the line order got changed. Okay. चुनाचे नकलस्त के आइंदे Sultan al-Arifin proceed. Oh no, the whole line ordering has been changed.
You can undo something.
No, unfortunately, I was trying to get the transcription.
Okay.
But you see here, it's become 29. It somehow I should have. Yeah, anyway. Well, we may have to switch to a different reading mode. Sorry about that. Okay, I think this, no, this is not the line, Jesus. Okay. Let's just do this. We might have to tilt our heads a little bit for this. It's not the most friendly, but
I think it is easier this way.
it's easier what the one that
Yes.
we were reading.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the other one also needs like to go up and down continuously, which is also bothering.
I am sorry about that. Let me go back to that way and refresh this. Okay, this was the line. And now we go to the next line. This is also not it. Okay. Bayezid Kujaz, Bayezid Guft Kasi Salast ki Bayezid Rami Juyam, wa Bayezid Ra Nami Abam, that it's been 30 years that I've been looking for Bayezid and I haven't found Bayezid, Yani Anche Bayezid Buad Dar Haq Fani Umahashud, that Anche Bayezid Bud, that whatever was Bayezid basically has been annihilated into the real truth. Wa in Hastiya Haqast. Now, this Hasti Haq is interesting. I mean, what is this? Like, what is this? The being of real truth? Like, Ashu, what do you think this is here? Hasti Haq.
Sorry.
In Hasti Haqast. Can you see it now?
No, I was muted. Sorry. I muted myself because I drink, so I didn't want to.
No worries, no worries.
Bayezid der Haq ثاني. I think he's vanished.
Right, that's correct. But the next statement, in Hastiye Haqast.
And he is really there. Like that is really, I think now he is really existing. Like before that, he was not there. He was not asked. Now he is asked really.
In Hasti Haqast. So it's not Hastiye Haq. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So that existence is the real
existence. Yeah, it's the real existence.
That's the real existence. Okay. This was the next line.
This is the famous Hasbi min Su'ali, yes. No, this is the famous Hasbi min Su'ali. It appeared now.
No, that was from the previous. This is because that was from the previous name with, I don't know what name it was, but attributed to
Al-Hasib. Al-Hasib.
Was it?
Yes, I think so.
But I think this
should
be the next line.
Al-Wali. Yes, it was Al-Wali.
Okay. I think this is the next line. Dar kaswati Bayazid jalve garamedast. That basically that in the robe or in the form or in the garment of Bayezid, even though there is some kind of a jalve, there's some kind of a manifestation, or that he or she has manifested himself or herself in the garb of Bayezid, fani zikhud wa bidust baqi, that dar कि दर कसवत Bayazid jalvegar आमद is that even though Bayazid appears in some form, but Bayazid is annihilated from himself, but subsisting in the beloved. This is okay. In tarfe ke nistan do hastan. In taife aizan ehle tawhid. Baqi hame khishtan parastan. Again, is this okay? Is this the correct line? I think so.
Just a second, correct? Let's check here.
What's the word after taife? Is this Aizen?
After Taife, isn't it and?
And Ahl Tawheed.
And
And Ahl Tawheed. I believe so.
Right. So, but yeah, I think this is the correct line. So this is in tarfe ke nistan hastan. It's tarife. Maybe what is it, like wonder? It's a strange thing that they exist and they don't exist, that they are and they are not, like the awliya Allah who are baqi in haq. But fana is khud. Fani is khud. Fani is khud, but bidust baqi.
Sorry, Taimur, that the screen became black completely. I don't know why.
Really?
Yes. We see just a line. I see a line in the middle, like between the two pages, but the two pages are black. Yeah.
Let me try sharing it. How about now?
Now,
yes,
yes, come back.
Is it good?
Yes.
Okay. So these are basically these group. These are the real Ahle Tawheed in Taife and the Ahle Tawheed. Like these are the people who exist and don't exist, and who have lost themselves into the baqa of haq. They are the real ones who exist, but they don't exist, and that's how a Sufi must be. Baqi hame khishtan parastan. So the rest are all self-worshippers. It's a strong statement. Is there another reading of it?
No, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yes, of course.
It makes sense because if you don't annihilate the self, you are worshipping yourself, not the God.
Yes. No. I mean, I meant it. I meant it in that it's a. Yes. Sorry, Mina.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but in the last line, I think we can read it as in torfe ke nistan do hastan, and meaning it's strange and amazing that they are both there and they are not at the same time.
What about it?
Instead of reading it as tarfe, we could read it as torfe, and I think it would have more sense.
What's the? I mean, I thought that this is a wonder and a marvel. Like that's how it's being used here. What do you think it's being used in another way?
No, I heard that maybe I heard it wrong. I heard it as tarfe.
No, it's also no. I may have pronounced it as tarfe. It's probably my pronunciation can be off. So turfe, yes. Like a strange thing, a marvel, right? Like a what?
Yeah, I just thought. Yes.
Aja bas. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Al-Wajidu al-Majid. Misle Hamid. Maybe we should go over the al-Muhi one more. No, I don't think I'll be able to do that with this kind of line ordering. Let's just move forward. Al-Wajidu al-Majid. Misle al-Hamidas. Okay. There's no comment on it. Go look at Al-Hamid. If we want, we can do that. Should we do that? Or should we move to Wahid?
But I have a problem actually, because he didn't explain al-Wajid absolutely. And al-Majid, yeah, it is not exactly like Hamid. I mean, al-Majid مثل al-Hamid أصلا. But al-Wajid, no.
What is your
they are not like Majid is, yes, may have something to do with being praised or being glorifiable, but Wajid, no, Wajid is like has to do with the creation, with the like what he has, what he puts inside us as well, like putting in our emotion or feelings and this in. So like he gives like sensation to our life. It's not exactly.
What's the root of Wajid?
Wajada has a lot of senses.
Oh,
I mean,
it's is it to find? It's the same as wujud,
yeah, it's
to
to
perceive
find, but also to have something inside you. Like, I mean, also like one of the deepest emotion of love is the wajd, like when you are
Wajj.
completely lost in
Right.
the love, that you don't feel anything else, or you feel like there is some hole inside you that need to be filled.
It's fulfilled.
That is al-wajd, yes. So he's al-wajd,
Yeah.
he's the one also that fulfills this part of you. That's some sense. And the magic can be.
Go ahead.
Magic can be the one who also gives you this praise. Like he will make out of you something that to be praised out of you, not in himself. Like he is like that is an action, not a quality of himself.
But is Al-Hamid both? Is it not follow the same form where it's both the praiseworthy and the one who praises? No.
No, it doesn't fit. It looks like he was like he was not willing to accept it, because it's not easy even to understand. I think it is very, very harsh.
The Wajid or the Majid is harsh?
Both. Majid could be related to Hamid. Could, no problem, absolutely. It's not. It's a bit far, but it could. Unlike al-Wajid, absolutely.
Yes, I mean for Wajid, there was on the next page, on one of the pages, there was a side comment about two names not being there in terms of the commentary. But anyway, I mean, there's clearly this is the Al-Hamid, I think. Why is it?
Can you please explain it again?
Which one? Al-Wajid? Meena, which one did you want to talk about again?
Wajd. I didn't hear it
Wajd.
well. Wajd,
Wajd
yes.
is basically, so Wajd is like, you have probably heard, like it's commonly used in like Wajd, to be in a state of Wajd. Is typically translated in English as ecstasy, but it's related to the same word as wujud, I mean, which is of course being, and hasti, but it comes from both finding, like wajada. There is that famous hadith, right? Those who seek find uses the same root. So both to, yes, exactly. Yabandegan and Juyendegan and Yabandegan. That's as it is in Farsi. It's the same root, but it's also particularly commented upon and elaborated upon word, especially in the Sufi cosmology. And you see it like spread out across like contemporary discourse, like wajd, to be in a state of wajd, but it's connected to being, and philosophically, in a complex way, it is like you are in a state of wajd because you have found God. You have connected to that. You have to the real, that which can be found. And in some cosmological articulations, it is sort of related to the idea of the manifestation, where what is manifested can be found. So, but only thing that is manifested is God herself. So what is found? So wujud then is God being, like in the Wahdatul Wujud. The same word it's the same root that is used in the word Wahdatul Wujud, of course, from wujud and wajd, and to find and to be in a state of ecstasy, and so on and so forth. So it's a particularly rich and complex word, and which is interesting that here it is not commented upon.
Is something, just a small thing to add. Al-wujdan is like the feeling apparatus. All what you can do, what you feel inside you is al-wujdan in general. So if you say something is wujdan, like emotional or related to feeling or emotional, like
it's also almost used as sixth sense, right? Like Wijdan.
Yes, also
you have the Wijdan of that, like, oh, you know it internally because it's a different form of knowing. It's a different form of knowledge. It's kind of like tasting the being of God, like tasting truth internally. It's similar to Irfan, but in some ways even higher than Irfan, perhaps, Wijdan, because it's much more internal and emotional.
I think it is a sort of cultural synonym, because Arfan was based on translation, actually. I mean, they got the root of the verb to know in order to correspond to the gnosis in Greek. So it is like knowing. That's why they got Arfan from the root Arafa, to know. But if you want the in doctrine word, I think the endonym is the wujdan in Arabic more than Arfan. But Arfan is under the influence of the Greek gnosis. It is like knowing, literally.
Knowing, yeah.
So if you get out of the terminology, wujdan is a pre-existing word in Arabic to express Arfan without God. I mean, what you have, you internalize inside you of a knowledge that is not based on logic, on reason. No, it's just you have, this is inside. You have a feeling inside that this is bad, this is good, or you have that a pre sentiment that something is going to happen. That is wujdan, which is not exactly explainable through the reason.
Yes.
So that's why it is harsh to ignore that meaning. I mean, it's very harsh.
Yeah. I don't know
probably
why.
This wujdan comes from God, actually. This what God imprinted inside us, actually.
Yes.
That is the tab'a, if we can say that, what God put inside us, that we have feeling, and this are also like lusting for Him. Like inside us, there is something that also like attract us toward Him, because He left something inside us. This is the thing that He left inside us. That is what His wajada inside us. So His wajid.
Yes. That is what is found inside us also, because that is what exists, like the wujud of it. And Wijdan is also used in ethical and moral discourses, like, oh, even in some legal discourse, that basically your moral compass is in your Wijdan. Like everybody is born with it. You do not need an external law to know what is right and wrong, because that is part of your Wijdan, because God has given you that. I mean, it's used in interesting ways. I mean, one of the ways in which in Farsi, sometimes it's maybe guilt, but like the idea azab-e wijdan, it's just like when you feel bad about something internally.
Yes.
It's hard to translate as guilt, but it's typically.
No, it is also in Arabic also, but the difference is wujdan or wijdan. I mean, it is the same root, undoubtedly, but it's like when you feel that you did something bad, you are like you carry upon yourself something bad. So you find something heavy inside you, and that's also called wujdan. أو أنك موجودة. أنك موجودة أي also موجودة, like this sense of guilt. It's, because you can say أنا وجدت عليه شيء, like how we say in English, it's the content to praise. I don't like something that he's doing. Like there is something, I have something against that. I feel something against that.
Yeah.
واجد على شخص.
It's an internal feeling, basically. It
Yes,
just
it's
doesn't.
always
It's a
about.
sixth sense.
It is this
It's the God inside you.
thing. Yes, exactly. Instinctive thing inside us.
The instinctual God inside you. I think let's just stop there. This is the come to the answer. But we have al-Majid, right, that he comments upon. So let's read this quickly. We read it earlier, which is related, of course, to al-Majid. Al-Majid sazawar be hame cheez ha wa buzurgi ha. So the one who is deserving of everything and every greatness. Bas Sufi rabayat ke khud ra mutakhallik bi khalqi ilahi gardanat. So the Sufi must basically consider or make themselves بخلق Allah, ilahi, create themselves in the characteristics of God, as we discussed last time. Like khulq is the singular for akhlaq, which is usually, of course, understood as morals, but it's the characteristics of God, going back to the fundamental idea of that hadith, the famous hadith, the Sufi tradition, that create yourself in the characteristics of God, bi akhlaq Allah. تسزوار بزرگی و لقد کرمنا بني آدم و علم آدم الأسماء كلها گردد. So that the Sufi becomes deserving of these two stations of being human being, as in the Quran, that وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, that God honored Bani Adam, and then God taught human Adam all the names, which is understood, of course, in this tradition as the names being characteristics like khulq and akhlaq and patience, among other things, where in this particular commentary, which started with this, of course, where the characteristics, this is a commentary on the names of God, and God taught Adam all the names, and these are the names, and that's what they mean, and these are the implications, which is to basically become in the image of God. Okay, let's go back. It's 11:03. Should we take a 5-minute break, and maybe I can try and reorder the lines so that we can read without being distracted? Does that sound good?
Wish. Yes.
Yes, great.
Thank you. Also, anybody who is listening, please feel free to ask any questions or jump in. This is a very casual, there's no, anybody, please feel free to add questions, interrupt.
I have question. Have you hear from Ali? Because I
Ali
answer
Rafi or Gulbaz?
Gulbaz. I wrote him and he didn't answer me.
No, I haven't heard from him. I'll message him and ask. I'm not sure. He typically has been coming, but he hasn't come for 2 weeks. I hope he's okay. I'll message and check on him.
Okay. I go to bring some coffee.
Okay.
انت عايز تاكل؟ شاطر يا حبيبي. لا لسه، بس في بريك 5 دقايق، عايز اشرب شويه قهوه عشان دماغي توجعني.
Okay. Let's continue. I was able to correct the lines afterwards, so the previous ones I can do later. الواجد والماجد مثل الحميدس الواحد يغاني بصفات خود. I think he's going to comment with al-wahid and al-ahad together. Al-wahid يغاني بصفات خود al-ahad يغاني بذات خود. This is interesting. So the one al-wahid is the one who is unique in her own attributes, بصفات خود, while ahad is the one who is unique in her essence. So both go together, where no attribute, for the first one, unique in her attributes, that no attribute is multiple, perhaps, or shared with anyone else. Like it's unique to God alone and belongs to no one else. And ahad becomes even higher, perhaps, who and I think this is where the station ahadiyya, which is the first station, comes from. Like the God exists in the station of ahadiyya, the one in absolute indivisibility. So the one who is unique in her essence, and then that nothing exists besides or even comparable to the existence and zat of God. Ashraf, is there a particular comment you have on these two in terms of the root, like the Wahid and Ahad?
They undoubtedly come from the same root, from wahada.
Of course, right.
Actually, it is a problematic thing, because with the entrance, the standard Arabic is based mainly on a variety of Arabic that didn't use the glottal stop. So the Hamza was not very common. Actually, that's why we still have a big problem with how to write it. Because what happened usually that they write the glide, they sound instead of the sound of the glottal stop. So like if you say ra's, they do not make the in the middle, but they say ras. So it becomes like, that's why the alif, the letter, became later a vowel instead of being originally a consonant. The alif originally is a consonant because the alphabet is only consonantic. The Semitic alphabet is only consonantic. So there is no vowels. But by the loss of this glottal stop, this a becomes a vowel. And in many times, this glottal stop, as originally a, like ahad, will be later treated as a semi-consonant. We'll invent another root which starts with usually with waw or ya, but usually a waw, like 90% is waw. We see in the word tawrikh, we say ta'rikh, just by hypercorrection. It is coming from waraha originally, but they believe, no. These people removed the glottal stop, so we put it back, which didn't exist. And here, ahad and wahad is the same word. It is ihad in Hebrew, or yihad also. So no problem, absolutely. It is ihad or yihad.
I see.
So it is strange to be yeah there and wow here. It's very strange, actually. But
I mean, it works, right? I mean, philosophically, it becomes sort of 2 degrees of ahadi, like 2 degrees of, like ahadiya is the higher degree, and then wahid is like, so the manifestation into attributes versus the unmanifest one.
And wahid would be the one like here in this context, the article naturally like acts like the capital letter in Arabic. Usually the article can use like the one between the O capital, while the ahad is that is it is not exactly unique in the sense there is no one like him, but unique like in the sense the philosophical sense of impartial, cannot be divided.
Yeah, indivisible, basically, right?
Yes.
And that's the station of ahadiyya, the highest of all, where God exists, like without even manifesting. Like that's the perhaps the station even in ghaib, right? Because the zahir is where the sifat manifest. So even without the manifestation of the sifat, God is ahad. या गाने बेजाते खुद, like indivisible. इन हर दो ism az-sifat sifat zatiyya, but these both names are also the attributes of God's as divine essence. But Sufi Rabayad ke zahir o batin ra, so he's written something else and he cut it. Ke juz Hazrat Maqsood. I don't know where it was from, but it's a clearly mistake. But Sufi Rabayad ke zahir o batin ra binisbat zat muayine sazad. Tas-sirr huwa al-zahir wal batin ura makshuf gardad. So therefore, the where did it go? But Sufi Rabayat ki zahir o batin ra binisbat zat muayine sazat. So therefore, the Sufi must perceive like muayine sazat, the zahir and the batin, binisbat zat, like as in relationship to the essence or the divine essence. Ta, and then I think this elaborates on what it means to do muayne or to perceive the zahir and the batin in relationship to the divine essence, is that ta sirre huwa zahir wal batin ura makshuf kar. That's so that the mystery or the secret of he is the manifest or she is the manifest and the hidden is unveiled to her. So it's in a sense like a comment about a vision of unity in all instances, like even in the zahir, including the zahir and the batin both. The one who is in the zahir is related to al-wahid, because who is one in her attributes, and in the zat related to al-ahad, who is one in her essence, and both are essential attributes, and therefore this and they are essentially pointing towards a unity or an indivisibility and a uniqueness and ahadiyya in both what is manifest in the zahir and in qualities and in attributes, and both that which is hidden and in the batin, as in the essence or as in the unmanifest. The Sufi must perceive both those worlds or both those existences as in relationship to the quality of ahadiyya or wahadaniyat, or being wahid and ahad, so that the mystery of she is the zahir and she is the batin is unveiled to her. As-samad, we have the next. Is there any comments on this before we go to As-samad? Okay. So I mean, of course, like these are probably the most read names in the Islamic tradition, given that with the Fatiha, the Qul Huwallah is read like most, like Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Allahu Samad. Like Ahad and Samad being perhaps the most widely read names of God after Allah, of course. Ashraf, you wanted to say something? Your video is off, so I can't tell.
Yes, yes. I want. This is not about the writing. Again, he make the 3 dots in a sort of a circle here. Again, it's very clear here with makshuf. The 3 dots.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
again, that is
Yes,
because we saw it before, and that's another proof.
Yes. This is, yes. Thank you for noting that. Yeah. B. I mean, of course, like he writes this B very much like that. B. So as-samad bi hamta wa dihandaye hajatha. So the one without equal and the one who is giver of all needs. This let's see more. This is an interesting name. Sufi Rabayat ki juz Hazrat Maqsood. Oh, this is what the scribe had started copying. Sufi Rabayat ki juz Hazrat Maqsood Maljana Sazat. وبصفة خود درمیان نارد. So the Sufi must basically, other than the Hazrat Maqsood, like the presence, or I mean, I don't know if presence is a good translation here, because Hazrat we discussed, I think, in a couple of sessions ago, can mean, of course, it's like Hazrat Maqsood is like the honorable, or the beloved goal, like the presence or the of the true beloved goal, that the Sufi must not make a refuge other than that, other than a samad, other than the beloved goal, Hazrat Maqsood. So not make anyone other than God a refuge. So this,
Excuse me.
what?
We cannot.
Yes.
What do you think if we read it جز حضرت مقصود و ملجا نسازد? Because if we read it as جز حضرت مقصود, then what can we do with
Then we don't know what to do with wow.
مقصود?
That's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, this is a
Yeah.
problem. I think this is Hazrat. Ke juz Hazrat maqsood o maljana. Okay, that makes much more sense. Thank you.
That's my comment is similar, because maqsood here is the one who is intended, the one to whom you disdain. So that is God Himself. Is maqsood and
Yes,
malja.
yes, that's certainly God herself. But yeah, I think I missed the wow in this reading. But yeah, juz Hazrat maqsood o maljana sadan. Okay, so other than, I mean, here Hazrat is of course God, like, but the maqsood should be, the goal should be,
God Himself. It is like
God
the one who is
herself.
intended. Yes.
But this is of course being elaborated from the meaning that the Handai Hajata, the one who gives you or solves your needs, basically, the one who fulfills your needs. So therefore, all your need, other than God, you should seek refuge in no one, and nobody else should be the goal. وَبِصِفَةِ خُود درمیان نارد, and should not bring her own attributes in between. I guess, I mean, this is another of the not so clear phrases, like to not insert one's own qualities, perhaps, between oneself and God. One way to understand it would be, like, what qualities could they be that could be inserted between oneself and God, like pride, perhaps, or any claims, and I don't know, what could be the philosophical meaning of that? They do not bring any of your qualities between yourself and God. I guess realizing that every need is only met by a samad, the self-sufficient one, right?
See, it's very difficult to explain samad, actually, which is because it comes out of its context. I didn't dig about it before, but the root for the commonly used is for the resilience. So it's like about being in general enduring, but it doesn't make any sense for God. So the one who is betake himself. I mean, he is like self-sufficient also, in a sense.
Yeah.
That's why he also referred to the needs. So he doesn't need, but he gives those who need. Actually, and that's why I think that you don't put anything like inequality of your human qualities between you and him as your intent. He is the one you have to always, how we say, address, because also qasda means to address as well. So the one who is supposed to be addressed if you have any need, or the one to whom you have to seek refuge if you have any feeling of fear or whatever, is God. So don't put anything in the middle. Anything, even yours, in the middle.
Anything in you. Yeah, because there's nothing else. Anyway. Okay. Al-Qadir. An bi qudrati بالای همه قدرت هست. صوفی را باید که در عبادت. Okay, now we have to, I think, next page. Let's read this part. القادر آن که قدرت او بالای همه قدرت هست. Of course, the one whose power is above all powers. و صوفی را باید که so therefore the Sufi must that in her worship, let's go to the next page. که در عبادت حق چنان راسخ و استوار باشد که نفس و شیطان بر او قادر. This should be, is there a noon missing here? قادر نشدن. No, sorry. Okay, not that one. Okay, this makes more sense. So the پس صوفی را باید که در عبادت حق, so therefore the Sufi in the worship of the real truth چنان راسخ و استوار باشد, should be so firm and steadfast که نفس, so shaitan, that the lower self, نفس اماره, or the set or shaitan, بر او قادر شدن نتواند. So that basically they cannot, neither the soul, the lower self nor shaitan can overpower him, can gain power over him. و بدون هم عاجز و فرومانده نگردد. And that she may, other than before the real truth, other than relying on dependence on real truth, the Sufi may never become ajiz, helpless, furumande, but yeah, weak and helpless, like not being able to do anything. It's and so in a sense, the implication from al-qadir is to have qadr, have power over your nafs and shaitan, right? And the way to do it is to be rasikh o istaghfar in ibadat haq, like to be steadfast and upright in your ibadat haq, so that you defeat the nafs and the shaitan. And then you are lowered before, and nothing overpowers you, and even in your helplessness, you are lowered before no one other than the real truth, God, because his powers are above all powers. Al-muqtadir, anke, sorry, let me, just a second. Okay. What is the, whatever. Al-muqtadir, anke kasi ke rad na kunad min fazleu. This is min, perhaps, right?
Doesn't look min, I don't know.
No, he like in the shikaste, or I
Looks
don't know
like
what it could it be.
doesn't even look like a wow actually, also, because his wow is very clear.
No, an ke kasi ke rad na kunad. Min fazle ura. I mean, is that could, if it's min fazle that from his grace, the one from whose grace or bounty no one is mahroom, or no one can. I mean, rad kardan here is I mean, rad shudan is to pass, but rad kardan is to an ke kasi ke rad na kuna, the one who does not reject anyone.
Excuse me,
Yes.
can we read it as mar fazl او را?
Yes, makes sense to be mar, I think, in a sense of just the script itself. It looks like mim re more than mim nun for me.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, sometimes of they write the noon like a ray, but I think
Yes.
there is a curve at
But
the end. Not
there's
here. It doesn't make sense.
There's a bit of curve there. Here there is no curve, absolutely.
That's
so it
true.
makes more sense for me. I just didn't know that can exist mar.
Yeah. I think here that makes sense. It's like the old Persian proposition, like marfazle, isn't like basically the one whose bounty no one can reject. Anke kasi ke rad na kunad marfazle ura. Like the whose fazl no one can reject. बस सूफी रा बायत के मोहब्बत कौनैन रा दर खुद राह न दहद व दायमन खुद रा दर इबादत हक मशगूल दारद. So the Sufi must not give way to the love of the two worlds in herself. Like basically the Sufi should have no love for either this world or the next. But daiman and eternally, forever, khudra dar ibadat. Here you see he has written with the ta marbuta the ibadat. Previous line was with a regular ta, but I wonder if it is because
it's a matter
it does
of
not have
space.
space. Yes, there's no space. So let's go back to ta marbuta. It's amazing. So with daiman khudra dar ibadat haq mashghul darad. So continuously be busy herself in the ibadat haq wa ba ishq muhabbat usazad, and make this ibadat with the ishq and love and of God. wa bighayri what is this?
I see noon f re dal noon he dal alif noon he.
Na pardazat.
Yes, daze.
Na pardazat, like بغير وبعشق محبت او سازد و بغیر او na pardazat, probably هیچ کس na pardazat. No, let's see. هیچ کس انگشت اعتراض بر حرف او ننهاد. I see. So basically, let no one raise a finger of objection to her words. But and here, I think this should be na pardazat. That basically, وَبِعِشْقُ مُحَبَّتِ أُو سَازَدْ وَبِغَيْرِ أُو نَا پَرْدَازَدْ, and basically she must act only within love and affection for God, and not attend to anyone, like not turn to anyone other than God. Hijkas angushte etaraz bar harfi unanahad, so that nobody can raise a finger of etaraz, a finger of objection to her words. Chunache Sadi alayhi rahma miguyan. So as Sadi, may God's mercy be upon him, says, Sadi hunarigir ke an sirre hunar hast. That Sadi seek the art that is the, I mean, it can be sare hunar, like the peak of all arts. Juz ishq khuda har hunari bhi hunar ast. that without the love of God, all for every art other than love of God is artless. Sadi hunari gir ke an sare hunarast. So if we read it as sar, that's the peak of all arts. But I think my uruz is not the best. It could also be sirre hunar, right? The secret of all arts.
I think sir would rhyme better. سعدی هنری گیر که آن سر هنر است جز عشق خدا هر هنری بی هنر است. It doesn't have good rhyme. I will look in the internet. If I can find it.
Did you find it?
I will look now.
Okay. I think sirre hunar would make rhymes better also. But
there, like head, I think would rhyme better.
Sar without
yes.
the tajdeed?
Yes, because sar hanri este, khud har hanri bihanri este.
Hunari.
I think it would be sar. I mean, the shadda sound bad for me. I don't know.
I mean it, and we understand the meaning. I couldn't find it in the quick search, but we can come back to it. And so, okay. Al-Muqaddam and Al-Mu'akhir, of course, are coming.
Al-Muqaddim.
Al-Muqaddam.
Al-Muqaddam is like
the one who comes after.
No, it is used in the also in Turkish, like for the military rank, like I mean the lieutenant general. I mean the one who is at the head of the army.
Yes, the one who is at the head, right?
Who sit ahead, but al-muqaddim who sits ahead, like he who bring forward, not he who is brought forward.
Okay. Muqaddim, al-muqaddim, I see. Pish kunande muti'an. Al-mu'akhir pas kunande asiyanra. So it's interesting that these two related names, one is defined by the one obedient ones, al-muqaddim, the one who brings forward the obedient. Pish kunande, I mean, what else could it mean? Pish kunande muti'an, like the one who, I mean, we can read the whole comment and see, but like the one who brings forward those who obey him or her, and then al-mu'akhir is the one who sets back, pas kunande, like, or defeats put them in the end. The one who brings forward the mutiyan and brings back the one who are sinners or who disobedient.
You can say like if you, because this is also, I don't know, I've in our school like this, if you have a clever pupil in the school, you are in the first lines, and the bad ones are all usually in the back lines. So it is the same simple idea of being in the front lines or back lines. You are good or bad.
Right.
So he advances the good, those who obey him, and those who contrast him, he put them back. So they are ignored. They are in the obliterated, or like not taken care of, and so on.
That makes sense. Yes. Okay. But Sufi bayat ke afale husnara pish kunad or besh kunad could be even like increase, but afale qabihara pasandad, it might be. So the Sufi must then advance his good deeds of like the excellent deeds, like husna, of course, like it's hard to translate with all the resonances. Afale qabiha ra pasandada, then basically put off or postpone or leave behind the evil acts and increase and put forward basically prefer the afali husana versus afali qabiha.
So sorry, Taimur, you say why you say with the dhamma? Just because husna, like asmāʼ-i husna, is the relative, like the
husna,
most beautiful. But this is,
yes,
I think, it's just that's a plural of Hasan. for the things we use the plural with the T مربوطة. So أفعال حسنة, good deeds.
Hasana, I see.
With the ha.
Hasana.
Hasan, like Hasan. Hasan, the masculine, and the Hasana, the feminine.
I see. Right. Hasana. Afali Hasana. So pas Sufi rabayat ki afali Hasana ra bish kunad or pish kunad, that not can't be bish kunad, it has to be pish kunad. I have to change this. Pish kunad va afali qabiha ra pasandadat. So the Sufi must then increase, put forward, advance the afali hasana, the good deeds, and put off and postpone or leave behind the afali qabiha. Okay. وَإِزَّةُ حُرْمَةُ الزِّلَّةَ تَزْهَقُ وَإِزَّةُ حُرْمَةُ الزِّلَّةَ تَزْهَقُ دَانَتْ وَبِغَيْرِ مَنْسُوبٍ نَسَادَتْ. So basically, consider or know that izzat and hurmatu zillah, that honor and dignity and abasement, they come from the real truth God, and وَبِغَيْرِ مَنْسُوبٍ نَسَادَتْ, and do not ascribe them to any other. Which is a very interesting, a powerful idea, that like if somebody is abasing you, or if you've been abased because of whatever situation, it's coming from God, right? Reminding of the verse, of course, قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا هُوَ مَوْلَانَا وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, that nothing can strike you or say, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that nothing can strike us other than what has been written by
God for us. Sorry, my earphone died.
Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so basically prefer afali hasana and leave back the afali qabiha. This is the meaning of these two, al-muqaddam and muakhir. Two names, but this is an interesting comment. Like this, until here, it makes sense that in terms of the definition he has given. But here it just shifts. وَإِزَّةُ حُرْمَةُ زِلَّةَ تَزْهَقُ دَانَتْ وَبِغَيْرِ mansub nasadat, and do not attribute it to anyone else. Like what part of the muqaddim muakhir is implying this?
As I told you, like to set you forward means like to prepare you, to pre-delight you. I mean, to put you like in the first line, like because you are best, and in this sense you are aziz, undoubtedly. And if zulla is the aiza or hurma is like one thing, and zulla is the second. So if you God sets you forward, you are honored already. Otherwise, you are humiliated. Like exactly that we still have in our culture, still Arabic culture. In the class, if you are doing bad, they sit you in the last desk. And the good students are in the first desk. The same idea is inherited in the mind of this area. I don't know why. But I mean, sit forward, those who deserve to be forward, because they are honorable, they are clever, they are, and Dilla is the contrary.
That makes sense.
In the class, when you have to clap for you, they sit you forward. And when they punish you, they sit you back at the wall back. No,
yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so al-awwal, what is this? Oh, it's akhiru. What's the dhamma here? Al-awwal al-akhiru, I think.
Al-awwal wal-akhir, yes. I don't know why.
No, he never puts it on any, the first time he's put that vowel, he never does it. Al-awwal wal-akhiru, an ki hamishe bood, wa hamishe bashad. The one that always was and will always be. But Sufi rabayat ke khudra darmiyan na danat. So the Sufi should not consider herself as in between, like that. The Sufi, like there's nothing else exists. Wa ibtida'u intaha as ubiwinan, and should see the beginning and end from her, from God. فَمِنْهُ الْوُجُودُ وَإِلَهِ Ya'ud. So from her is the existence, and to her is the return. And inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, that idea. So awwalul akhir hamun. As Khuda miayim be Khuda barmigardim, that we come from God and we will return to God. That's the gloss on the awwalu al-awwalu wal-akhiru. Anke hamishe بود و همیشه باشد. پس صوفی را باید که خود را درمیان نداند. So the Sufi must not consider herself as, basically, forget your own. You are not real, nothing other than God, and it's a journey from God to God, and in between is nothing. Because the existence from minhu al-wujud, and this was the existence or being found, right? I mean, in a sense, the existence is defined as being manifested, as being found by someone. But to be found by someone, you need a finder, and that is what the source of, in this case, also the existence is, which is God herself. So God manifests herself to find herself, and through you and other creatures, or through all the creatures. I think this is one, this helps an understanding to remember that famous canonical hadith Qudsi, that I was a hidden treasure and I loved to be known, so I manifested myself. That becomes the cosmological principle of why the cosmos comes into being in the first place. Like, why does anything exist? So it's a theater of self-gazing of God in some ways. Because God fell in love with her beauty and wanted to see it, so everything came into being. Or
no, it's not that he fell in love. It is like
or was in love, rather.
The love was so much that it had to explode. So it is like,
yes,
it cannot be contained anymore. That is like came out of a sort of emancipation, because it cannot be contained anymore. It's too much.
But it's out of
inside.
love, though, right? I mean,
yes,
the word
yes,
in this hadith.
it's out of love, but it's not like this ego love.
No, right,
yeah,
right.
Like,
well, but it's also in love for beauty, of God's love for her own beauty. Where then love becomes the cosmic principle, and of course so does beauty. Which then we see in even akhlaq texts, right? Like by 10th, 9th, 10th century in the classical akhlaq tradition, this becomes one of the sources from which love triumphs justice. Like, it becomes better than adl as an organizing principle of even political theory. But anyway, we are digressing. Come back to al-zahir.
We have a nice error here. I made like in فمنه الوجود وإليه. I think he was confused, because it is either وإليه العود, which makes sense, or وإليه يعود without the article, which makes more sense. So the existence comes out of him, and existence of everybody, and that's why it ends also like to him back again, like goes back to him again. So we end in him. I think that's the best explanation if you want to make it in Arabic words. فمنه الوجود وإليه نعود, all of us, means that he's the awal, we came out of him, he's a principle, and we will go back to him, he's the akhir. So he's the destination, like he's the principle and the destination. That is awal and akhir.
Right.
So it is, we have to make a note on the I think he wanted to write وإليه يعود. The Sufi has his existence comes out of the existence of God as the awal, and as God as the akhir. So we will go back to him because he's the end. In any case.
Right. I mean, this is of course like very similar to the inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi
raji'un. Exactly.
Yeah. So okay, al-zahir ashkara bi sifati khud, al-batin pinhan bi zati khud. So again, we see this coupling of like the attributes and the essence, that al-zahir is the one who is manifest in or through the attributes, and al-batin is the one who is hidden in the self, right? Similar to what like wahid and ahad. It's parallel, right? The wahid was in yagane bi sifat khud, ahad yagane bi zat khud. So batin is the, and he used zahir and batin as a gloss for understanding the meaning of ahad, wahid and ahad. So the one who is hidden through or in his in her essence. I think they, of course, these all come together in the Quran as well, like awwalul akhiru, zahiru batin. But Sufira bayad ke zahir ra binisbat sifat u batin ra binisbat zat mushahide muayne kunat. Similar comment we saw earlier, that the Sufi must then observe or perceive the zahir or the manifest or the apparent in relationship to godly attributes. I mean, here, of course, sifat is sifat-e khuda. And batin ra binisbat zat mushahide muayne kunal, that observe and witness the in I wonder what if the mushahide and muayne are if he's using mushahide for in with nisbat to sifat and zahir, and muayne with nisbat to batin and zat, but I may be reading too much, but basically perceive the interior and through the essence and external through the attributes. Ke huwa zahir, huwa al-batin. What?
ظاهر است.
Okay, who
هو
Zahir? Who
الظاهر
was
هو
Zahir?
الباطن هو الظاهر هو الباطن ظاهر است.
So I mean, who was Zahir wa huwa al-batin, of course, like that he's the she's the manifest, she's the hidden. This is the Zahirast is like that this is apparent.
This is a, I don't know, because I don't know out of the Arabophone world what the word would mean, but
I think here it can idiomatically it mean Zahirast is like obvious also.
yes, also, but the sense in Arabic is completely away from this. Like Zahara means like get the basic meaning comes. Let's say the prayer of the Dhuhr. Okay, at which time is the Dhuhr? It is when the sun exactly is in the zenith. So exactly in the highest point. This is Zahara means to be in elevated, like I mean to be apparent in the sense that he is in a place that everybody can see him. That is the idea of Zahara. And Batana is what it is the contrary. They are go always together. So you look at your body, and the button is the what is inside and you cannot see of your membrana, while Zahr is the back or your back, because it's the only thing that you cannot hide. It's the only thing that is must be apparent, because it is outside. And if you curve your body, you cannot curve to hide your back, but you can curve to hide your belly. And you can look here, that is batn al-yad, and that is dahr al-yad, because this one you can hide, but the other one you cannot hide. This is the
Unless
idea.
you do this.
Yeah, no, yes, you need
joking.
something. You cannot
Something
do it
else.
self. You
You need
cannot do
rough
it alone.
covering.
Somebody else has to hide you. And this is like continue to be they use in medicine, for instance, batina is the endocrinology. I mean the part that it's inside, you cannot see. It is called the batina. Like and Zahir and batin here, like I don't see them as contrast for God, because Zahir here, like he's overwhelming, he's over everywhere that everybody cannot unsee him. And he is everywhere inside that also nobody do not feel him. So it is like he is inside every point of view, but he's also outside overwhelmingly, that you cannot ignore him. That's in both in your inner and your outer. So I never saw it in my life as contrast, like usual names are one against the other. Awal, akhir, zahir, ba. No, it is. I think in this case, it is intangible, because in his appearance internalized and also externalized. In both cases, the same thing.
Yes,
You
but
cannot
this is of course this is the no, this makes sense, of course, but I think they're here these attributes then become metaphors for the philosophical conceptualization of the manifest and the unmanifest, the one that is apparent or appears, even though of course there is no zahir without the batin, and then the batin is like the station of ahadiyya, the one that is the unmanifest, because if there is no cosmos, God still exists, in the batiniya, in ghaib. So, but here this is of course then becomes much more like zahir ashkara bi sifat khud, like the one who is ashkara. Ashkar has the same sense, like it's apparent and open. It cannot be something that is ashkar is clearly seeable, and pinhan is, yes, something that is hidden. Bizat khud pasufi rabayat ke zahira bi nisbate sifat. So basic, but then at the same time, like whatever is manifest must be understood through the characteristics and sifat of God. But batin ra binisbat zat mushahida mu'aynikuna, then whatever is inside or your internal states and halo ehval, they must be thought in relationship to essence, the essence of God, and understood that. I mean, this is itself a very dense comment and can be elaborated upon. But ke huwa zahiru al-batin zahiras. Then he quotes the Quran saying this is how it appears, that it is obvious that God, she is the zahir and the batin. I think zahiras here just means that it's obvious or apparent. Al-wali, misle al-wali, al al-muta'ali, misle okay, Ali. So Ashraf, like what's that head shake? You're muted.
Sorry, because it's about the water that I don't want to disturb you with the sound of water. Al-wali, yes, somehow, yes. But al-wali here, like, it's about al-wilaya, which is more different from al-wali, which is different wilaya, different type, like, I mean, like in a sort of alliance, like the one who is in relation to somebody else, he would be faithful, would be reliable. While al-wali, the one who that take care, which is a bit different. Which we have the concept also in the Sunnah Islam, like about al-wala and al-bara. You have to renounce to everybody except God, and you have to give all your fidelity or your loyalty to God. That is the only person to whom you have to pay all the wilaya. And that is the wilaya also we speak about for like months in the Sufi tradition, actually. And al-alay is an inherent adjective. I mean, it is a quality, inner quality, while al-muta'ali comes from an action, so it's different. So he goes beyond, the one who goes beyond. Unlike al-alay, the one who is in heights, like he's inherently he's beyond. That is a static quality, while muta'ali is an action. Ta'ala ta'ala is to go beyond.
I mean, so one is in a sense like the wali. That's why he says misle al-wali, like similar to
yeah.
Yeah.
But muta'ali and alay a bit no, because alay would be a sifa of a that, and the muta'ali of action is like attribute. It's not like that.
Right. We can go back and look at for example, like wali, which was should be right here. I think it was in the previous page.
Yes.
Here it is. 30 line. Actually, these lines are not in order, so let me just do this. Here it is. Al-wali, dosto yari kunande, pas sufi ra bayad ki beghair haq dost nadarad. So the one who is like your friend and helps you, wallahi qalb as dosti dune haq pak sazad, wa qalbul mu'min haramallahu haramal. Basically, that do not let anyone other than the real truth let your heart be clean from it, because as in the saying, which is attributed to Imam Jafar Sadiq, I think, that the qalb of the moment, the heart of the moment, is a sanctuary of God, and it is haram of the sanctuary of God to have anything other than God. تا حدی که تمام نوال دنیا و مجموعه نیم آخرت بر وی عرض کنن به نظر قبول بر هیچ کدوم نگرد. So much so that if they present all the niceties of the world and the blessings of the akhirat, then the Sufi rejects and does not even like look at it with the eye of acceptance on any of that. چشم و دل از نعیم دو عالم ببسته ایم، مقصود ما the dunya و عقبا تویی و بس, that we have closed our eyes and heart to the ni'mas of the two world. You مقصود ما, the goal from this world and the akhirat is just you and you alone. و شم دوستی بالا مذکور شده است, and it's just like a whiff of love here. و خلق را به نظر محبت و مودت نگردد و به کارهای ایشان موین و امید باشد. So basically نگرد. So should see the creation of God with love and should be helpful and helping in their things. That's the implication of wali for the Sufi, and I suppose that for al-wali, the commentator wants us to draw similar lessons. I think maybe al-wali, al-muta'ali, maybe we can stop here and then come back to the next. We can start again from here for the next one. There's al-dawab,
al-baḥr before.
Al-baḥr, yes. Al-baḥr. Oh, al-baḥr is one line, and then the al-tabab is the next. Maybe we can read the al-baḥr and then we stop at tabab, which is a much longer comment. Or maybe we go back and start from there, and we can also read the commentary on this one so that we can understand entirely. Al-baḥr kunande neki wa ihsan, but Sufi ra bayad ke qasid neki wa ihsan khalq bashad. So the beneficent al-baḥr, the doer of good, so the one who does good and beneficence, neki wa ihsan. So therefore the Sufi must intend goodness and beneficence towards creation, which is of course repeated comment that we see in so many of the names. The relationship to khalq is one, is of service and dosti and love and ihsan and neki. Other than that, you cannot really have a relationship towards any other creation of God. Okay. So I think, if there are any questions, I don't know, a lot of people were here and listening. So again, saying that feel free to jump in, feel free to ask, feel free to add. There's nothing formal here. Today it was the three of us, like Meena, Ashraf, and I, because we have been doing this for a few weeks, more than a few weeks. So we're just used to it. But if you want to participate and ask a question, say anything, add a comment, another aspect of it, please feel free to do so. I'm going to stop the recording then. How do I do that? I miss Jonathan. Stop recording. Okay. Oh, you can even pause it.